Welcome back to Rated Radio. I'm Ray Zander.
And I'm Shane Wyndham.
This is MELANIE MARTINEZ versus Doja Cat.
Hope you're ready for a fight.
Roll the intro. I keep in my ears, I feel like I sound like, welcome to Watch Mojo. Like, that's exactly how I feel. Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're going to rate your top picks for songs from MELANIE MARTINEZ and Doja Cat. You know, like,
there's some legitimacy to that.
For real.
I'm not lying.
I can hear it now. I don't know if it's because I'm a little congested, but I sound like the Watch Mojo girl. Moving on to the first album that we covered by our first artist. This is Scarlet by Doja Cat. This album came out in 2023. Shane, I gave it 0, 7 or above ratings out of 15.
I only thought one of the 15 songs was great. And it was just a 7. It didn't go like 8, 9, 10. It was a 7.
Okay. My bottom track was Balut.
Agreed.
And my top track was Paint the Town Red.
Agora Hills.
Okay, I liked that song too.
Yeah.
The music makes me feel like I'm hanging out at the top of a car at night, turned up on scissor.
I think the music makes me feel like I'm hearing a record skip in a lounge bar.
All right.
That's the most backhanded ass compliment of all time.
I'm going to have to sit with that one, yeah. What I thought about the album is this album comes from Miss Doja, from a place of a powerful female rage. You can tell she has grown here, but she loses a bit of her sweetness and silliness that she's known for. Regardless, she is a strange force to be tussled with, but my favorite just isn't this. Libra sees Libra, sis. 5 out of 10.
This artist is a lot like Nicki Minaj with just a sprinkle of D'Antwoord's Yolandi Visser. And her music is jazzy downbeat in most places. The Scarlet album was a tough listen for me, mostly because the song's bridges were non-existent and because the melodies don't change during the choruses. What the producers do here to try to keep the instrumentals feeling like they're varied is employ the addition and subtraction of certain basal elements at certain times. But that didn't do much to hide the monotony from this listener. It's a real shame too for 2 reasons. First is how interesting the basal melodies tend to be, and second is how skilled Doja Cat is at creating varied vocal melodies atop the instrumentals. That's actually where I think she shines brightest, and despite the shallow lyricism, an insane amount of imposter syndrome spilling out of her, why I think she deserves better than the production team she's got. Even if I wasn't harping on the static foundations, things like the overexposed drum and bass in songs like Demons would remain criminal. And again, it's all the more noticeable because of how impressive the singular melodies usually are. Lyrical repetition's also a problem here, as are some head-scratchingly vocal free spots in the wall of sound. Basically, this is a lot of hot and cold which I struggle to even rate. On one hand, I love much of the sound. On the other, they beat a good tune to death, often without doing enough with it. The best parts of the disc are where Amala has crafted a number of neat vocal pieces to go over the undercurrent of tedium. Earworms like Paint the Town Red, Attention, and Agora Hills. There are some other reasons to hear the album, but not nearly enough to make it a spin I'd recommend. Someday these instrumentals might be sampled into a mess of amazing variety. As is, though, I'm only returning to the 6 or so tracks worth having heard at all.
I love the comparisons that you threw in there, the Yolandi, and I wish the randomizer would have chosen a different album from Doja.
Yeah. It's going to be like that.
I know.
That's the hard thing about this.
You want to you put your best foot forward, but with the randomizer, you can't. There's no real advantage with it being completely random.
If you're new to us, by the way, the reason we're doing this randomized album stuff is because when we were hand-picking the albums, it was just a lot of praise.
Yeah.
So this at least makes it kind of fair. If you're an artist out there and you put an album out, you better make sure it's going to go head to toe with your other albums, because otherwise, not so much.
Yep. Are you ready to take a break?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
What Billboard hit did we listen to this time, Ray?
I'm Good by David Guetta and BB Rexa.
Blue. What'd you think?
No. How dare you? How dare you capitalize? Sorry, I need to get my emotions in check. How dare you?
God damn, I gotta put this paper up again?
No. Sorry. How dare you rip off and find a cheap way to capitalize on the nostalgic silliness of the original by Eiffel 65? Shame on you. 3 out of 10.
Harsh.
Yeah. It's a harsh world, man. What did
Okay.
you think? Let's make this better. Come on. Help me out here.
Welp. I knew this was bound to happen eventually. Someone reworked Eiffel 65's I'm Blue Dabba so that the chorus actually had some lyrics, as opposed to the original's scat-like offering. And I've got to say, I dig the lyrics they came up with. I also like the floatiness of this version. And BB's voice doesn't get on my nerves, even if it is just nicely vanilla. Problem for me is that this could have been so much more than a mostly low-effort club dance track. If you listen to the original from Eiffel 65, you'll find verses that serve a purpose. Those are afterthoughts here. The bridge is also pretty lackluster, and the drop-it drum and bass elements here are way too basic. Again, failing to be as interesting as the original. In spite of my bitching though, this still makes for an easy listen, which I'll feel compelled to let play more often than not. 6 out of 10 stars from me.
All right. Yuck, 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 yuck. If you know, you know. Let's move on to talk about some more music.
Ick, ick. Fucking Mr. Krabs.
Yuck.
Melanie Martinez, here we come. I tried to not say it creepy that time for you. I know you think I'm creepy when I say here we come.
Sorry. All right. Now.
Jeez, the man says the word come and she just looking like Rihanna putting lip gloss on.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to talk about not sexual things at all.
Totally.
All right. So this album that we covered by Melanie Martinez was her K through 12 album from the year 2019.
Okay.
I gave it 2 7 and above ratings out of 13.
I only gave it 1.
Okay. Not surprised at all. What was your bottom track?
The Principal.
Okay. Sneaky money, greedy. Okay. My bottom track was Detention.
She's hurting over there. She hated that pick.
It's okay. You're a cruel motherfucker. We knew that about you. Moving on.
I'm just honest. That's some people don't like it.
It's a lyric in the song.
Sorry. If I liked it, I might know, but I didn't like it.
Motherfucker. Oh. Okay, anyway. What was your top track?
Teacher's Pet.
Hell yeah. Same. How does the music make you feel, Shane?
Like I'm conversing with a stoned Tim Burton fanatic.
Really? Because it makes me feel like I'm a bratty little thing with a dark side.
I mean, that's really just the two sides of your personality.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Continue. Why are we still talking about it?
I just want to point out you rated yourself 2 out of 13. You know?
Hey, not everything can be perfect. I'm a work in progress, Shane. What did you think about the fucking album? Let's go.
Let me get my paper.
One thing that I'll say, though,
put on my spectacles.
Before we move on, the reason why Detention is in my bottom track, I made a note. Couldn't get over the music box background ticking.
Ray made a note.
I made a note.
You guys.
I pulled out my pen, I went clicky click, and I made a note.
Take the vocal middle ground between Lana Del Rey and Billie Eilish. Set pop songs to some hip-hop drum kits, then add a ton of childhood-adjacent noise samples, and you get this artist. What I respect about the album in question is how unexpectedly bangarang some of the choruses are, that it sticks to its theme of grade school analogies, and that it does trend better and better in terms of lyricism and relatability as it progresses. What I'm less crazy about includes plenty of drab lyrics, samey vocals, melodies which are often little more than passable, the heavy tendency toward repetition, and, where they even exist, the weak sauce bridges. With the exception of a few songs near the start of the album, I do actually like this spin, and don't have a problem recommending it in the capacity of something that's easy to let play while cleaning house or whatnot. The sound effects do get a bit grating at times, but this is mostly a gentle, if lyrically explicit, bit of bass dropping pop. Its greatest challenge is that complexity-loving listeners will rarely feel awestruck by it. The songs also aren't massive emotional punches so much as they are excuses to fit song titles and sound effects together. I do think this artist has more potential than I've ignorantly afforded her, but K through 12 is not the best showcase of said potential, though it does get a passing grade overall.
Passing grade overall. I like what you did there, Shane.
I do it a lot. I'm glad you finally noticed.
Nice. Okay. I'm listening this season. I made a note. You make one note. And you can hear pin drops.
You make a note and people come for you. Oh my God. Oh, I said come again.
Yep, said come again. All right, so speaking of come, sorry. Fuck.
Yes.
Okay, so this second album from Martinez comes from a place of childish yet sexually dark themes that you can clearly tell makes our artist most comfortable to express herself. Her magnetically baby girl tendencies, yes, I said baby girl, this is relevant because this is very much baby girl. Don't get me wrong, music like this can tiptoe the line of cringe or misunderstanding, but for me, I find Martinez's entrancingly sad vocals quite pleasant, accompanied by the theatrical presentation and clever songwriting. Overall, 7 out of 10. I will agree with Shane though, if you had to ask my opinion, this would not be my top album from her as well, but I think it was a fair extension of what other albums may have been centered around.
Okay. Please like or subscribe if you're still listening, and remember you can send us all kinds of feedback at rated_radio@yahoo.com. Ray, who won for you?
Well, I think it's clear that Miss MELANIE MARTINEZ took it from me this week.
Same for me, actually.
And
I have to agree. It would have been pretty close if I averaged this out.
If we would have had Doja's other album, maybe it would have been different.
Yeah.
But for Scarlet, sorry, girl, your best foot wasn't put forward. Anyway, that's going to do it for now.
Until next time, fill your world with music.